So today we're going to discuss part one of a four-part video series, namely how to conduct an investigation. So Deandra, please tell us, what is the purpose of an investigation?
So the purpose of an investigation is a simple fact-finding mission. The length and depth of your investigation will depend on the complexity of the allegation against the employee. For example, the theft of sugar from the office canteen would probably be a quick few-hour investigation done by an internal person, whereas theft of a large sum of money would probably be done by an external auditor, and that could probably range up to a few weeks to conclude.
Okay, so once you've gathered all these facts, what comes next?
So an investigator will then compile what is called an incident report, and it's simply a summary of the evidence that the investigator has gathered.
And in the company, who can be the investigator?
So an investigator can be an internal person. As I mentioned before with the theft of sugar, it would probably be the person who saw the employee steal the sugar from within the company. Whereas if it is a bigger crime or has to be investigated a little bit differently by someone with other expertise, it could be done, as I said, by the external auditor, or for instance, a lie detector expert.
What makes a good investigator?
A good investigator will follow a common sense and logical approach, and they will obviously investigate any new leads that pop up during the investigation.
So would it be appropriate to suspend an employee pending the outcome of the investigation?
So suspension is quite a drastic measure. It is, however, possible to suspend an employee pending an investigation as long as they're suspended on full pay. And you would only do this when you would suspect the employee of potentially hampering your investigation. So for example, someone that's stolen quite a bit of money over a long period of time obviously has, the know-how of how to get away with it. And they'd more than likely try and cover their tracks once they realize that the company knows about what is going on. So in that instance, it would be appropriate to suspend the employee.
Okay, so is there perhaps a specific template that one can use for conducting an investigation?
Unfortunately not, because obviously every incident is going to be different. You'll investigate it individually, and that's why it's so important to follow the common sense and logical approach. Even if investigators do this within a company, they'll not only be able to properly prepare for the specific disciplinary hearing, but an investigator will then see, if all their money, for instance, that they've spent on an expensive camera system, if those camera systems are placed in such a way that they can actually view what is going on, for instance, within a warehouse, because you would obviously need the correct camera angles to actually see what people are doing in order to use that video evidence in a hearing as, proper evidence and for it to hold weight at the CCMA.
Yeah.